It's not new to say that the green parties are watermelons, and this is the same in every single country. They are green on the outside and red on the inside, because they use the green agenda as a form of revolutionary praxis against wider capitalist society. And to be honest with you, I'm just glad that some of them are just starting to come out and say it, right? This is Zach Polanski, who's running for the leadership of the British Green Party. And I'm using Britain as the example, but they are all the same. They are all the same. And we're going to watch his little campaign video in which he just admits, look, this is for communism, bro. This is just what we're asking for. Watch this.
The Labour government is failing and the planet is burning. People are looking for somewhere to turn. Nigel Farage and his billionaire mates, they don't offer any real solutions. It's time to rise up. It's time for bold action. And that's why I'm running, to be the next leader of the Green Party.
I love it. They don't offer any real solutions. Well, you mean they don't offer communism? No, that's true. Very few people are actually trying to offer communism, but this absolute ball of raging charisma is going to rise up and take over the British Green Party, which I'm sure is going to do amazing for them.
We all know we need a party that is bolder, clearer about what it is that we stand for, and crucially, what we will always stand against. A party that can cut through, not just to those who already agree, but to millions more people.
But those people all don't want communism. Like, you've already gathered the communists to your banner after Labour expelled you, and this is now going to be the pitch. Watch this.
A party that knows inequality is at the heart of all of our problems.
That's inequality is at the heart of all of our problems. Is inequality causing the absolutely unbelievable crowding on the trains or on the roads, or when I'm waiting in the NHS or wherever it is for any service in Britain, the fact that I have to wait an exorbitant amount of time to use it, is that inequality, or is that overpopulation caused by immigration? Is that, I mean, I appreciate the scary right wing, but it's just true that this is the case. And it's not inequality that has caused that. It's a series of persistent betrayals by successive Labour and Conservative governments that would just be exacerbated by a new communist government like the Greens. Why would I think for a second you have an accurate read on any problem if the only answer you can come for, you can boil it down to, is just inequality, bro? It's just inequality. Maybe if we had communism, we wouldn't have this problem, bro. This is such single-minded ideological thinking, because if it was, I mean, inequality can't really be the source of a problem, since it is the consequence of issues, right? Like the problem would have to be an ideological one for it to be inequality to be the issue, because it presupposes that we should have equality, and really, especially in a material sense, that's complete nonsense, and no one thinks that's the case. It's never been the case. It never will be the case. But you could point to a real issue, like, for example, benefit fraud, right? That's being done disproportionately by foreign peoples, or crime is being done disproportionately by foreign peoples, or the amount that we spend on welfare, and just every problem is actually being exacerbated by immigration. And I can point to the concrete issue rather than an abstract, oh, it's inequality. Oh, it's the magic of inequality that's causes. No, it is the fact that 72% of Somalis are on social housing. So they don't pay taxes, and my taxes pay for these Somalis to live in Britain. Why is that the case? That is mad. And it's just all these different layers of issues that are caused by mass immigration. And, you know, like housing costs. It can't be anything else than the number of people in the country divided by the number of houses, which is causing the house price, right? The people who demand housing are the ones that are driving the price increase. Inequality isn't a factor here. It is simply the numbers. Again, the abstract notion of inequality, which is downstream from things that happen, or the real thing that is upstream that has downstream consequences. And yet here they are, not talking about reality, talking about an ideological boondoggle, as if this solves anyone's problem. Because the answer they're going to give you is, well, we need to tax the rich, we need to penalize the rich, we need to attack the rich. And it's like, okay, that's great, bro. That's great. I'm not really very rich. I don't think I'm not that worried about you coming for me because I don't earn that much money. And the consequence of you going after people who you think are rich is that they're going to leave. And we know that because 10,000 of them a year leave. And then what happens then? Well, you don't get the money that you expected to get. And so you need to go for the next richest, because rich is a relative term. As in, oh, well, they're not here anymore. So it's now the next layer and the next layer and the next layer until people earning 100K a year are the rich. And I mean, I can't help but notice there's just a race to the bottom. But no, sorry, you were saying it's inequality. The spectre of inequality haunts us.
Town, village, country, city, wherever you live, inequality hurts us all.
How? How is inequality hurting me? Like, he doesn't make an argument. He just asserts this and goes, right, okay, well, I've captured my constituency, people who are resentful against successful people. I'm not one of them. I'm not resentful against like billionaires. I don't care as long as they aren't personally robbing me. Unlike, unlike some immigrants. But also other petty criminals. 95% of burglaries go unaddressed. Is that inequality that got me? Or is it actually the fact that the burglars just are in the country and are being left to roam at large and continue to burgle houses because the police have decided that policing tweets is more important than actually solving crimes?
That will confront fascism.
Oh, well, that's the primary issue that I had as a voter, the rising tide of fascism. I just see Hitler Youth goose-stepping down the street, and I'm like, good God, if only someone would call this out. No, this isn't a problem that is causing me problems, actually. This isn't an issue. This isn't something that Britain is racked with, actually. I mean, our government is just openly in betrayal of us at this point. We do not have a fascist government. We do not have a fascist movement, nor do I want one, to be honest. I would rather a patriotic nativist British movement. And believe it or not, that just wouldn't take on the form of fascism. But you wouldn't understand that. Anything that isn't communism to you is fascism.
And we'll call it genocide. Exactly what it is.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah. Free Palestine, bro.
Now is the moment to build the next generation. New faces, new names, new voices. This is how we'll win. We can beat reform, win more councillors, and send more Green MPs to Parliament.
Honestly, Nigel Farage is going to absolutely trounce you guys. But I suppose he's the fascist that you're concerned about. Which, again, in itself is absolutely hilarious. Anyway, sorry, Karen, you're being a communist.
Because we know how to win now, but it's time to aim higher. There are 39 constituencies where we came second place to an increasingly unpopular Labour government, and many more constituencies where we are growing every single day. This is only the beginning. People are crying out for the Green Party to seize this moment.
Are they, though? I mean, this is very close constituency of people.
A nature and climate crisis, racist riots on our streets, and inequality growing deeper every day.
So we're going to attack the rich, we're going to attack the natives, and we're going to attack the energy production, and people will vote for us. Why? Because the entire point is the immiseration of the country. That's just all you're trying to accomplish. And it's kind of weird that you're just coming out and saying it. Usually, Greens are much more mask on, right? They're like, well, we're just really concerned about the climate. We're really concerned about climate change. We're really bothered about burning fossil fuels and stuff like this. They don't normally just come out and openly be like, yeah, so this is basically revolution against the majority and the country that they have, and we intend to tear it all down. That's rarely the message, and actually I don't think it sells as well as you think.
It is time for bold leadership. When I say bold, I mean bold.
Okay, but what does that mean? When I say tautology, I mean tautology. Okay.
For years, I've debated some of the toughest interviewers. And when I say leadership, I mean real leadership. I've seen the difference when you can help empower communities by listening and inspiring people to work together.
Yeah, but you aren't listening, are you? Right? People are like, we don't want any more immigration. Right? That's overwhelmingly priority number one for the British electorate. Whenever they are polled, 67% plus are like, no more immigration, please. Enough. We've had too much immigration. That's enough. And we're going to vote for Nigel Farage because he is the only person saying I'm against immigration. And look at how Reform rocketing in the polls. And you're like, yeah, so we're going to listen to people, but not those people because they say fascist things and we don't want those. We are for revolution, comrade. And everyone can see it at this point. Like, this is genuinely quite an embarrassment, to be honest. I'm surprised they put it out. I mean, the guy totally lacks any charisma, and all his promises is, I'm going to be more radically left than Jeremy Corbyn. And it's like, okay, I mean, okay, that's certainly something you can do. Whether that's successful or not, because I don't know whether you've noticed, but Britain's quite a right-wing country, and we're not represented by our politicians. So you're like, the electorate, the political class is very left-wing. I need to go further left. It's like, okay, bro, I'm sure it's going to work for you.
That's why I'll always use my platform to lift other people up on our estates, in our workplaces, in our faith spaces. We can have environmental, social, racial, and economic justice if we unite.
There we go. It's just workers of the world unite for 2025. We can have environmental, racial, and social justice if we unite. We have nothing to lose but our chains and bank accounts and prosperity, as if we've got any of that left, really. And just, the good quality of life we used to have, that can all go. This can all go, can't it? And this is the chap who's going to bring that about.
And the Green Party will be the united force for change. Join us for bold leadership.
Again, he keeps saying this, but he doesn't actually say what he's going to do differently. He's just going to promise communism, and that's bold leadership. It's like, okay, well, again, right? I'm tired of, for years, the Green parties, and again, Britain's just one example, but they're all like this, hiding their communism behind the facade of climate change and climate activism. I'm very tired of it, because I actually like the idea of having a clean and naturalistic landscape to live in. I don't want to live on Cybertron, where everything is just covered in solar panels. I don't want to live in some sort of Mumbai slum where everything is just mass tenements housing the third world. I don't want that. I actually like the green and pleasant land in which we live, and I would like to preserve that. So conservation is definitely something I can get behind, but revolution is not what I'm after. So thank you very much, comrade, but I think I'll be voting for whatever is the furthest right away from you instead.